Okay, so math lesson 2, equivalent fractions. Before we start going further into adding and subtracting fractions and multiplying and dividing fractions with like denominators or unlike denominators, we do need to understand how to make equivalent fractions. So they're fractions that have different numerators, top number is the numerator, and different denominators, bottom number is the denominator. And the numerator, if you recall, represents how many pieces of a whole you have, and the denominator represents how many pieces total the whole has. So this picture, let's take 1/2 equals 2/4 equals 4/8. So what that would look like is that would look like one half is also equal to, so this is 1/2, we can shade it in, that's 1 of 2. It's also equal to 2/4. Let's not make it messy, let's make it good. So now we've split it into fourths. And as you can see here, it's the same value, represents the same value. And then we can come down and we can do it again one more time, and now we're going to separate them into eighths. So really what we're doing is we're halving each of our halves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see here, they're all still the same size, right? They still represent the same value. They're just broken down, right? This is 1/2, 1 of 2. This is 2 of 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 of 8. Okay, so that's basically what's happening here when we find an equivalent fraction. Now let's erase this part here in the middle, and let's show you a way to get there also by multiplying. So we take our 1/2, and whatever we do to the top, we also do to the bottom. So let's multiply it by 2. Just pick 2 because it's an easy number to multiply by. 1 times 2, and then whatever we do to the top, we do to the bottom. So 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So now we know that 1/2 is equal to 2/4, which we already saw up here, and then we demonstrated it again over here. 1/2, maybe I should do that in another color. 1/2, 2/4, and then 4/8. So we can then do that again with the 2/4. If we were to multiply the top by 2, we have to multiply the bottom by 2, and that gives us a total of 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. And again, it shows you exactly what's happening here in a different visual way. So we can do these with any number of fractions. We could take, let's do another one here. We'll do this one in green. We'll go 1/3, and then we will multiply it by 2. And whatever we do to the top, we do to the bottom. And then 1 times 2 is 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so let's remember that. And then let's, we'll take black. We'll take that 2, 6, and we'll multiply that by 2. And whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. And that'll give us 2 times 2 is 4, and 6 times 2 is 12. And what we can do is we can see here again, if I was to make this into thirds, 1, 2, 3, that's 1/3. And I take the same piece, and this time we're going to break it into 6. So again, we're having it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to take 2, and notice they're the same size. Now this one, as you get bigger numbers, you'll see that we're going to have to make them quite a bit smaller, right? And the list goes on and on. You can continue to do that onwards and upwards, and it'll take you a while, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll get 4 of those bad boys done. As you can see, it's still the same size, 4/12. But again, if we come over here and we multiply whatever the top by whatever the bottom, as long as it's the same number, we're going to find another equivalent fraction that has that same value. It's just going to have different numerators and denominators. Okay, so I will go ahead and post some problems for you to do, and good luck, and feel free to visit the video as much as you can.